Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your hosts, Barry Church, Hek'ma Harrison, and Newy Scruggs.
Here we are, Players Lounge, Hump Day, right here on DallasCowboys.com radio from the SWBC podcast studios.
Let's get it.
You know the crew, and if you don't, here's Hek'ma Harrison in the house. Barry Church, former Cowboy safety, fresh off the golf course. Look at the freshest.
We lucky to have him, y'all. We lucky to have him.
Play like doodoo today, but it's all good.
And I'm merely Newy Scruggs here to help facilitate and get things through here. 45 minutes of Dallas Cowboys football talk right here for you as the Cowboys get ready for the New Orleans Saints. It is a game that will be at home, the first Cowboys home game of the year. It will be a sellout. If you're going, please get there early. I constantly have to remind people this time of the year, like, I know it's been a minute since you've been out there. You better I always tell people, give yourself 3 hours.
At least.
Give yourself 3 hours.
Unless you know how to get there. Unless you know how to get to.
I do.
You do.
But even still, heck, I don't try to play with it. I don't try to play with it because all you need is some wreck.
That's it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? And, you know, some folks who can't turn right, that kind of thing, hold things up, man. So, because there's always inevitably
It's
people.
always that one.
Yeah.
Well, people who don't know what they're doing.
Ask me questions like, "Can I go over here?" No, man, just drive where you need to go, man.
That was my photographer out in Cleveland. Hey, man, what about
Just drive.
Don't do it.
go further down?
Just drive. Bro.
Yes. So make sure you are there early. The Cowboys with a dominating win over the Cleveland Browns. Folks left. So do you know what that means now?
What's that mean?
You know what that means.
What's that mean?
Jerry got him back.
Oh, I hope.
Jerry got him back. Jerry got him back. They're in there. You saw your social media feed. Cowboy fan was back. Cowboy fan was back. What's the guy who sings the video they show all the time? Ain't nobody calling me, texting me, asking if we still them boys.
We
that guy.
still them boys.
Yeah, they
We
still them
them
boys.
boys.
Yeah, we still them boys. Yeah, that guy. So I see that playing a whole lot.
Yeah.
So here it comes. The Saints are in town. Okay, the boot is right next to us. A lot of Saints fans live here.
They're gonna be packed. Yeah, for sure.
So they will acquire tickets. So it will be a fun game here. The Saints dismantled the Carolina Panthers 47-10 at home, okay? Just looking at the numbers for Derek Carr, he didn't have to do much. 19 of 23 for 200 yards. He had 3 touchdown passes in the game and had a quarterback rating of 142.5. So
Crazy.
he just had to do his part. This was a team win there.
for sure.
But Derek Carr is a guy that we have seen through the years. There's some good. And there's some
big ugly.
Ooh, brother, what is this?
Ooh, brother.
Right. Yes. And Hek'ma, when you look at Derek Carr, what are the things that concern you that you say, all right, what do the Cowboys and defensively need to be looking out for against number 4?
Look, I've been one of those people in Derek Carr's career that has looked at him like an adequate quarterback. He has had his failings, and it's been because he's had a poor offensive line. Him and his brother got a lot in common in that way. Hit a lot.
Ooh, his brother got smacked.
Yeah, he got smacked. His brother David Carr, NFL Network analyst. But, Derek Carr has been one of those guys that has never been considered amongst the elite. But his numbers, if you look at his numbers through his career, he's had some pretty good numbers. But in New Orleans, he still is a victim of the same things that plagued him when he played for the Raiders. If you touch him, he will fumble the ball. And so one of the things that also is in his favor is the fact that he's one of those guys now and that has gotten into his career, and he's like, I need a running game to go with what my strengths are. And him and Alvin Kamara present a challenge and are going to present a challenge to a lot of teams in the NFC South. The Saints, they have a offensive coordinator in Kubiak that pressure you at the line of scrimmage. They are going to play 21. They're going to put tight ends on. They're going to overload you. And what he also loves to do is do a lot of motion. BC, you know as well as anybody, offensive coordinators that use a lot of motion are trying to find out what.
Yeah, man-to-man zone. What the coverage is.
Right? And the whole thing is to try and out-leverage you. And so when I watched the Carolina Panthers tape, the problem that I had, one, the Carolina Panthers are not going to be very good this season, okay? And not to jump on that train, but they out-leveraged them in a lot of ways. And it wasn't just what he did, those 3 touchdowns that he threw, and he threw some dots.
He did.
Okay, he threw some dots and some great ones, great throws, but it was the 180 yards on the ground that really has me more concerned about what I see from the Saints. And this is a game, guys, that I feel like your interior defensive line is definitely going to be challenged because Derek Carr can't make all the throws.
Yeah, you said something interesting right there. You said the motions, the shifts. They're going to try to play with the eyes of the defenders for the Dallas Cowboys. And now they got some young pups in there. When you talk about the interior defensive line with Mozzie, then you talk about the second level with Overshown and Liafu, those guys out there. They're going to try to play with their mind. They're going to go ahead and get you trying to figure out what you're in, like the motion, short motion, long motion. Are they in man-to-man? Are they in zone coverage? They're going to try to play with those guys' eyes. And you know what Marinelli always said, you see a lot, you see a little. You see a little, you see a lot. So to me, that front seven for the Cowboys, they will be tested. They will be tested in this situation because they have 2 backs over there. In my opinion, they may not be what they weren't what once was, talking about Kamara and Williams, but they still are a threat. They still are a threat in the backfield, especially Kamara when you talk about being a receiver out of the backfield. And then they got the tight end as well. I believe his last name is Monroe.
Foster Moreau.
Foster Moreau.
I believe he's got a concussion headache.
Oh, is he? So he may not.
We'll see.
Okay, that'll be a matchup now. They were able to handle Njoku, but I think a lot of that had to deal with the pressure, and they were just harassing Watson out there, so he couldn't take advantage of that mismatch right there. But to me, it's going to be another game where that front seven has got to be huge. They're going to get after Derek Carr. And if you can get after Derek Carr, that man can see ghosts back there. I mean, we've seen it 100 times.
I got it in my notes, I swear to God.
He starts getting those feet pattering around. He's like, oh, man, they're right next to me. Oh, Derek, he's all the way over there, man. You was good. But if you can get him seeing ghosts and you can get him trying to get that ball out before he gets hit, that's when the turnovers start happening. And I believe that's what the Cowboys are focused on doing when you go against the New Orleans Saints.
I looked at the numbers here, and heck, thank you for bringing it up. 37 runs to 24 passes. This is just a sign of a team that overwhelmed the other team. If you're a Saint fan, it's like don't get too drunk off this one. You got to face Carolina. The Cowboys are going to get Carolina in December, so this looks like like that
penciled in
that homecoming game.
Don't say Florida A&M.
You can't get Notre Dame, though. You can't get Notre Dame.
Right. So this looks like that kind of game, right? That homecoming
Shout
game.
out to the Rattlers.
So, yes, Nate Newton, proud Florida A&M Rattler, along with Pam Oliver of Fox Sports. So,
Absolutely.
So don't, Saint fan, don't get too excited.
Exactly.
The challenge steps up this week for you. They've got a left tackle that is a rookie as well out there.
Yeah.
And so this is another opportunity for Mike Zimmer to go ahead and turn it up. One of the things that I had spoke to Trevon Diggs and Patrick Walker of DallasCowboys.com, we were there with some other people, and Trevon Diggs told me, he says, we got a whole lot we didn't show. A lot. Then I asked Mike about it. I said, we probably show maybe 4 or 5 looks of what we can. So there's a lot in the bag that Mike Zimmer did not uncover. Then on Monday, he kind of admitted, I got some other Micah packages, just didn't get to, didn't need to. So another young left tackle out here. He needs to see 11 needs to be given that work. Welcome to the league, son.
Yeah,
welcome, Rook. Here I am. So I look at that aspect for the Cowboys of what they can do here, and I echo what you said about Derek Carr. Derek Carr is that guy that if you make him uncomfortable, he will get very uncomfortable. Carolina didn't do it.
Do y'all think, real quickly, they only showed, whatever you said, 4 or 5 different packages. Do y'all think that could be a good thing? Because it allowed those young guys, those young defenders out there to just play fast. Like, they weren't worried about thinking and, if this motion happens, I got to check to this. And the communication was crisp. Those guys, the communication was there was no big-time explosive plays. So do you think that could be a good thing? Or if they're going to show more and more as the season progresses, that'll make these young guys think a little bit more and play a little bit slower? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, the whole thing that you said is communication. And I think for Coach Zimmer, one of his staples has always been the way that he disguises coverages and confuses offenses and quarterbacks specifically. But you know how much it not only the communication but repetition that you have to do to make rookies or guys that are new to the NFL comfortable in the new sets that they're in. You have to be able to take those helmets off, go to the field, be able to walk through and be able to, when they line up like this, we're going to do this. And so with him being able to say, look, we hadn't even shown half of the looks that we have, I think that's a positive because then what happens is, in the NFL is they prepare for you. They make adjustments. They know you. So the tape is going to be out now on Zimmer on how he wants to use Micah. So that's my only thing. I think if there's more in the bag, I can't wait. I can't wait to see how they use Micah. But in this game, as you were talking about the left tackle, Newy, I think that when you see this offensive line for the Saints in all 22, they move together. And that's why I say Mozzie it's going to be very important for Mozzie to be able to stick and stay and not get moved. Where he gets in trouble is when he gets turned and gets pushed up the field. And then your linebackers are rendered helpless because you now have a guy 6'5", 300 pounds to the second level, so you're not able to see that speed from Overshown. And that's what I saw in the Carolina Panthers game that I thought that the Saints did really well. And their center, Eric McCoy, man, very mobile as a center and as a guy that likes to chip block and get to the second level.
Man, Overshown was fast out there.
Yeah, he was. He was rolling. He was rolling.
Wow. And for a guy having his first NFL regular season game, and just think of what will happen for him as he starts to get more and more comfortable out there. Hek'ma, going back to this run game, because we thought Cleveland would try. No offensive tackles out there. After the first drive, 10 straight drives where they did nothing with the football. 6 punts, 2 picks, and two drives that ended up in downs. We saw Alvin Kamara, 15 carries, 83 yards, and a touchdown. Jamal Williams, who came up from Detroit, 11 carries, 38 yards, and a touchdown. Taysom Hill. Damn.
I forgot about the Swiss Army knife.
I'm telling you, I was watching the film, and I was like, there's no way that number 7 is Taysom. No way. No way Taysom Hill still plays for the Saints.
Five carries, 35 yards, averaged 7 yards a tote. So when he got in there, he was able to get a little something there. His long was 12 yards, so he did something with his carry. So 37 runs. You've got to get them in some third and longs. So it's just not going to be as easy for us as it was against the Panthers. And for the Cowboys, it's not going to be as easy as it was against the Cleveland Browns. So both teams are going to get some tests here. And this is going to be the fun part of this. The Cowboys were so good at home last year, except for that playoff game. But when you really, really needed it, when you really, really wanted it. But all you can do now is start at home. Barry, what was the mentality like for the first home game when you were playing here?
Oh, I mean, it's when you play that first home game, I don't care, what year you're in, year 10 or you're in year 2, the butterflies are rolling. I mean, on the away game, you're kind of all in unison. It's us against the world. So it's kind of that feeling where you're all together as one. But those home games, I mean, you got guys who got family over there, and it can be a little bit distracting. But when you get into that locker room, you all have to lock in, and the butterflies are flying, because nothing is like Cowboy Stadium at that kickoff, that first kickoff. All those guys rolling, and the white flags flying all over the place. It gets you hype. And I think that's the key to starting fast. It's like if you can feed into that fan base, you can feed into that energy. I mean, we've seen it time and time again with the Cowboys last season when they were in the home. They were able to start fast and jump on teams quick, and I think that's going to be the difference in this game. They've got to step on New Orleans' throat. They got to jump on them quick and not give them an opportunity to have 47, 37 run attempts.
Let me follow that up here. It's a noon game. The Cowboys live in the afternoon games, but this is one of the rare times they're playing a noon game here. What's the difference there?
Oh, I hated noon games because when you get up, you got to get your little breakfast in, and I always felt just kind of tired. Like, I don't know if I had the itis or what. Maybe it was because of what I was eating. I had pancakes, eggs, all that good stuff. Yeah, but I just felt like sluggish in the morning. I had the itis, man. But I hated noon games with a passion. You love it when it's done because you got the rest of your day, but getting hyped and getting ready to run through somebody's skull at 12, it's just here we go. Time. But then you get rolling and you figure it out. But those afternoon and night games ain't nothing like those though.
No, I feel like when you talk about the home game, what a difference a couple of years made for the Dallas Cowboys, because they had never been considered a home stadium favorite. Yeah. It's always felt like a visiting stadium, even for them. And now over the last couple of games, I believe this is going to be 17 in a row during the regular season if they pull out a victory at home. Yeah. And so that is home field advantage for the Dallas Cowboys. So I think, 12 o'clock crowd's going to be rowdy, ready to get back to it, because the last time Cowboy fans saw the Dallas Cowboys, it wasn't too good.
No.
It wasn't too
brother.
Wow. So this is a way to reintroduce yourself to your fan base. But I mean, going back to Alvin Kamara, what's really kind of startling about him is the fact that He is a guy that has a name for himself in the National Football League, but he has never had a 1,000-yard season as a rusher. Never.
It's that total scrimmage yards that he gets you with. Yeah.
Cumulative.
Yeah.
It's the cumulative that he does in his ability to get the ball out in the flat as a receiver. He reminds me a lot. He reminds me a lot of a guy by the name of Ricky Waters. You remember Ricky Waters?
He was called in Philly and San Fran, right? Yeah.
Marshall Falk.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Roger Craig.
So
yes.
guys like that are able to victimize you once you get out in the flat. And I think that, look, for all of the things that we know about Mike Zimmer and his history as a head coach and as defensive coordinator, sometimes he leaves those underneath those flats too open, right? So that's something that they are going to be looking at. And obviously the offensive coordinator for the Saints, he also coached under Mike Zimmer. So that familiarity, if you just, anytime you look at these matchups, look at the coaching matchups as well. Yeah. A lot of these guys are familiar with each other.
I think that's so key. It's like, the tendency, the favorites right there. So that ability to get out there and coach and get that stuff done there. Hey, let's get our first break in here. Chris Olave can be a problem. Yeah, can be a problem. Believe it or not, wasn't a problem last week at all for Carolina, but the Cowboys are going to get some Chris Olave. Let's dive into that and how they defend it next, right here on the Players Lounge, brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming on DallasCowboys.com radio.
Are you the 2024 Dallas Cowboys Fan of the Year? The Dallas Cowboys and Captain Morgan are celebrating extraordinary, inspiring, and original fans. Nominate yourself or the biggest Cowboys fan you know for a chance to be named the 2024 Fan of the Year and win prizes, including a trip to Super Bowl 59. Visit DallasCowboys.com/Fan of the Year. Go Cowboys!
Hey there, Cowboys Nation. Kyle Yeomans here, sharing that same team that brought you Buffalo, bringing NFL casino games that show America's team on and off the reels. Aristocrat is changing the game with a new experience. Football fans, this means you can pick your team and play your team. Check out the Cowboys-themed casino games developed by Aristocrat, a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Gambling problem? Please contact the U.S. National Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-GAMBLER for 21 and over.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, sir. Hek'ma Harrison is here. Players Lounge.
Wait, that was
segment number 2. Hey, sometimes you gotta keep it
short and sweet, man.
Keep it simple, stupid.
You tailgate.
I thought it was pausing. I'm like, wait,
No,
tailgate, bring it out there with you.
that's true.
all we need
Let
to
me
do.
get that backpack, though.
Yeah. That thing is.
I was talking to you. Let me get yours. Let me get your Yeti backpack, sir.
I like that. Yeah. Give it up smooth.
Yeah,
All right.
right.
man.
Former Cowboy safety Barry Church. I'm Newy Scruggs. It's Wednesday.
Yeah.
Cowboys are back at it, getting ready to face the New Orleans Saints at home. Rooted is the team motto.
Yes,
this year.
sir.
Rooted.
Mud.
Rooted, trying to get rooted back home for the home games after that last wild card game. I mean, the Cowboys handled business against the Browns.
They did.
Okay?
They did.
Fans were leaving there. They're like, they're eating the dogs. Hit the dog pound. They're eating the dogs.
Not the
They left. Fans, so that was hilarious, man. Watching the fans like, man, we're out. Got something else to do on Sunday. I was actually watching.
Wow.
Rarely do I watch the newscast when I go into town, but I used to work in Cleveland, so I turned it on. Man, they were hyping this. I mean, they had the weatherman into it, all kind of folks. It was all Browns. This was Saturday night.
Yeah.
Saturday night, baby. They all ready to go. Last year, we're good at home. I was like, wow, okay. I forgot. It's been a minute since I've been working in Cleveland, just kind of thing. Like, okay, they poured all into it, man, drinking the Kool-Aid, and then the team went out there and did that. Fans booed them at halftime. I was
Hate to see it.
Yeah, I know, man.
tough.
It's like, God, you're back again. Same old thing in Cleveland. So we them boys, fans were happy. You should have seen all the folks on the plane, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to say, did you wash the shirt from yesterday? You just rewore it again because folks were out here. It was a lot more. Now, it was a lot of them wearing the gear there, but it was like extra double on the way back.
On the way back.
Ain't that something? Did they have it on going?
They did.
Yeah.
They did.
Did
But
they have it on going?
It was doubled on. That's what I want to ask you. Is that the
It's a
same
lot of
shirt?
people tiptoeing back on the train. It's a lot of tiptoe. It's a lot of tiptoe back on the train, dog. It's okay. It's okay.
It was the breakfast was full of both. Breakfast was full of them both days. On Sunday. Monday a little different. Monday a little different. Monday a little different. So, and the fun part about this week is, Saints fans live here. A lot of Louisiana folks live down here, so they're going to want to go to the game, and it will be fun. And I'm looking forward to it. When you talk about the Saints and their receiving weapons, Chris Olave, that's a blue chip player right there. He's a really good football player, and Trayvon Diggs, in his first game back, got an interception. Carson, the rookie, had a good game, held his own out there. Heck, what are you looking for when you see Chris Olave and Derek Carr and his ability to try and get in the ball? Because last week, only 2 catches for 11 yards for 17 yards combined.
Hey, Chris Olave from Ohio State has had a very sneaky, silent start to his career. 2 back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. And, I think for all intents and purposes, defenses, they respect him, but they don't give him the attention that they give some of the bigger dogs in the NFL. And again, he's 6 foot, 187 pounds, something like that. But he is a flyer and a guy on the outside that really can victimize your defense. For me, when I watch him on tape, especially coming away from that first game versus Carolina, you see them with the motion, but also they're trying to set up those mismatches, and they want to get you in one-on-one situation. The problem with the one-on-one situation is we got some guys that can go one-on-one with you. But the other guy that his running mate with Chris Olave is a number 22. Shaheed.
That boy got go juice, man.
Shaheed. And when I talk about the motion, they run him a lot in motion. They bring him back underneath the motion, but he'll go on a fade ball of, any of those goals or posts or anything like that. So it's like, you're going to pay a lot of attention to Olave, but I think for Coach Mike Zimmer, he's looking at this in totality. And when you talk about the tight end not being there, that's going to be big for them because he was a big mobile target for them. So, look, Chris Olave, like I said, man, having a sneaky good start to his career. But right now, man, he's one of those guys that I think the Dallas Cowboys defense can definitely handle him at home.
I'm with you on that as well. I think they can handle both he and Shaheed on the outside because he can take the top off of any defense. Yeah. But the question is, will Derek Carr have time back there to develop that deep route? And, that's what he loves to do. Those, banana sevens, deep posts. He loves to stretch the ball out there. But I just don't know if he'll have the time back there with the rush that the Dallas Cowboys present. That's why, in my opinion, even with Olave, I don't think Olave will be that big of a threat when you talk about deep balls because he just won't have the time back there. That's why I think it's going to be that if Moreau plays from the concussion protocol, if he's able to play, it'll be that box right there. It'll be Monroe to tight end. It'll be Alvin Kamara out of the backfield. Something to get the ball out of Derek Carr's hands fast. Because if they watch that Cleveland Browns game, they understand that this defense hunts.
Yeah, the magic of last week versus Cleveland is those 5 sacks that gave the Cowboys 12 total games since 2001 with 5 sacks. And that's league leading since 2021. Also, their ability to take the ball back, interceptions as well. So when the Cowboys are taking the ball back and they're hunting the quarterback, they win the game. And so we already talked about Derek Carr and his, he will start seeing ghosts and you can disguise those coverages. Those are some of the things that I think the keys to victory is going to be being able to create mayhem, start, cause pandemonium, get to the quarterback, cause those interceptions.
We'll pick the games later on this week, but I look at this as a game the Cowboys must get. It's your first home game. Last time we saw you, You embarrassed yourself, threw up all over yourself out there in front of the home crowd.
Right.
You need to correct it, but you get the Ravens after this game. You need to put 2-0 in the bank, and then get ready for the Ravens, who lost their first game in a very good contest against the Kansas City Chiefs on Thursday night to open up the season. So to me, just looking at this thing right now, got to get to 2-0.
Yeah.
You and I had them going 1-1 because we had them losing against, but to heck, you had a 2-0. But this, to me, when I just think about this game and what it means, get the bad taste out of your mouth from last year, get this first home game, and get to 2-0, because this is a team on paper, and I know paper doesn't matter. Arizona showed us last year after the Cowboys started off hot. You need to get this.
Yeah, and when you look at teams like this, you got to win the games you're supposed to win. Like, that's the mark of a good team. Not going in there sleepwalking, not going in there and letting a team that you are better than all across the board. You look at it offensively, defensively, special teams, the weapons that we have on the special teams for this team are better than what the Saints have. And it can't be one of these games like you mentioned last year with the Arizona, Josh Dobbs coming out here surprising cats and throwing all over the place. It can't be one of those games. And to me, Mike McCarthy, he has done a great job. In his tenure so far here, has done a great job of starting fast on teams that they're supposed to be. Outside of that Arizona game, they usually start fast and they're usually rolling. So I'll give him kudos to that. He does a great job of getting this team ready.
What scares me is 12 o'clock game, like you talked about, and the word sleepwalk. And we don't – that has been the one thing that has bit us a lot. And I don't care if it's the Denver game or just those games where you come in and you're supposed to knock this team out. Next thing you know, it's halftime and you're in a dogfight. And being able to whatever changes he's made and understanding that, I really think Mike McCarthy really has a handle on that with this team that has so much talent on it. But you can't allow these guys to start slow, especially like you said, in a game that you're supposed to come in and dominate. You can't be sloppy. You can't have any blown coverage. Although you have a ton of rookies out there and a bunch of first-year players.
And so Hek'ma, let me bounce off what you just said there and put it over to you, Barry.
Yep.
Here are the rookies. Your first home game. On the road, you're not trying to deal with a bunch of tickets and everything else, but it's your rookie game here at home. Family wants to fly in. They want to come see. What advice would you give as a veteran to the rookie players as they get ready for a game number one at home and, everybody wants to come celebrate you?
If the one thing I would say is you got to lock in as far as when you get to the hotel room, don't go. Because you get, after meetings, you get a couple hours before curfew. Don't go back to the house. Don't go sitting there, hanging out with the family and all that. It's great. You could catch them after the game. But make sure you lock in. Stay at the hotel. When you get up in the morning, go straight from the hotel to the stadium. There's no, because, that's what we did when we was with the Cowboys. Wake up in the morning, you did your meetings, and you went back to the house, hung out for a little bit, then went to the stadium. Don't do none of that. Don't do none of that.
Even on a 12 o'clock game? Even on a 12
Even on a 12 o'clock game, yeah, because you wouldn't even have morning meetings during a 12 o'clock game. You would just, first thing you get up, get some breakfast, and you would have some time to go kick it or whatever, hang out at the house with the family, and then go to the game. At least that's what the veterans did. But they're way out here now. I think they stay over at the Omni, so it ain't like you can just go bang from the Omni all the way to the stadium. So just lock in, man. That's all you got to do. And when it comes to Zimmer and his coaching staff, he strikes me as a guy that's no nonsense. Like, look, man, we're not here to play games. We're here. This is business. Come in here, lock in. When you get to that locker room, lock in. There's no games being played, guys chirping all over the place. Lock into what you got to do and handle your responsibilities. That's at least what the coach I see from Mike Zimmer.
Yeah, we've gotten so much. What we've got, I think, and we haven't talked enough about this guy from week one, is Eric Hendricks. And the job that he's done defensively, and this being his first home game as a Dallas Cowboy fans get to see finally some good linebacker play. And a guy that is just, he's doing he had a tackle for a loss, an interception, a sack. Yeah. That's crazy, to debut as a player. So, it's players like that I am really excited for. Not only the rookies, but guys that's been in the league for a long time that's getting an opportunity to play in AT&T Stadium.
Yes, I do. And Barry, thank you for that, because I think it's one of those unknown things. People just don't talk about it a whole lot. Yeah. But the family that wants to be a part of your first opportunity.
Go to the stadium with you. Come pick us up, and we'll all go to the stadium.
But I think you bring up a very good point. If you tell a young guy, don't go home, because it's an early game, you're going to have all night. By the time 5, 6 o'clock comes, man, you'll be able to go home and just relax, enjoy, and soak it all in. And you want to do it with a win. Yeah, you don't want to do it with a loss. Right. You don't want to do that. So you want to get that in there. Let's get a break in here. Jake Ferguson, going to miss some time here.
Yeah.
Where's plan B? Want to go to you, Hek? Want to go, Hek? What do you think plan B should be here for the Cowboys moving forward? He's Hek'ma Harrison's Barry Church. I'm Newy Scruggs. Players Lounge brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming right here on DallasCowboys.com radio.
I'm Cowboys alumni Danny McCray, here with Smoothie King asking, what's that sound? That's the sound of me sipping one of their power-packed smoothies with over 10 grams of protein. With real fruits and organic veggies, because at Smoothie King, what you see is what you sip. So grab a delicious Smoothie King smoothie, throw a straw in your jaw, and get sipping real. Smoothie King, the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys.
To kick off the 2023 NFL season, Hugo Boss teamed up with the NFL and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection featuring hoodies, crews, t-shirts, polos, joggers, and more. The bold, unique apparel of the Boss NFL collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, at HugoBoss.com, and at Boss retail stores. Hashtag be your own boss.
Hey there, Cowboys Nation. Kyle Yeomans here, sharing that same team that brought you Buffalo, bringing NFL casino games that show America's team on and off the reels. Aristocrat is changing the game with a new experience. Football fans, this means you can pick your team and play your team. Check out the Cowboys-themed casino games developed by Aristocrat, a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Gambling problem? Please contact the U.S. National Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-GAMBLER for 21 and over.
Raising Cane's presents the other rules of football. Rule 1. Any broadcast without the express edition of cooked-to-order Cane's chicken fingers is prohibited. Rule 12. No crinkle-cut fries, Texas toast, or craveable Cane sauce constitutes an illegal formation. And Rule 31, anybody who loves to feed their game face is an eligible receiver of Cane's. When it comes to winning game day, Cane's rules. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love. Go Cowboys.
Back to the Players Lounge.
The Texas A&M Aggies and the Arkansas Razorbacks return to AT&T Stadium on September 28th in the Southwest Classic. Don't miss your chance to catch the highly anticipated annual matchup. Tickets are on sale now at SeatGeek.com, the official ticketing partner of AT&T Stadium.
What day is that again?
28th.
28th. Okay, I'll miss it. But poor Arkansas. Poor Jerry. Jerry keep hosting this thing and.
It ain't been good in a while.
I mean, A&M keep firing coaches, but they still beat Arkansas. Poor Jerry. I like Jerry to be able to just roll out there one time at home. You know, you build this big old stadium, you got your team coming in like every year, man. Yeah. Jimbo coming here winning, and then still get fired. Like, doggone it,
forgot about Jimbo.
Right. You know, he got fired. We still can't beat this dude. So,
man, they got a hometown hero, man. Jaquindon Jackson playing running back from Duncanville High School.
For Arkansas?
For Arkansas, man. Come on now.
He starting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Show some love. What is it? What do they say about the? I don't even know what their whole thing is, but go Arkansas.
The Woo Pig Sue.
Woo, there it is.
Woo Pig Sue.
Woo Pig Sue. And they keep me to catch up on all that stuff. Man.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Proud of them.
They used to be good back in the day, man. It's been moving.
Been a while.
Moving to the SEC, it helped them financially, but winning, one of the problems is, and I actually talked to Stephen Jones about it when Stephen played out there, the Texas talent went down. So there's two schools that I think about when they moved out of that, the old Southwest Conference / Big 12 that lost, you know,
the old Southwest Conference.
Right, the pipeline. Yeah. Arkansas lost the pipeline, and then Nebraska.
Yeah, they used to be cold.
And Colorado had a huge pipeline into Houston. So, you know, that's going to be interesting to see what happens here with some of these other moves here. But now, you know, since Texas has joined the SEC, now A&M's in the SEC and Oklahoma, I think Arkansas will be okay to be able to get some folks back.
I think Dennis Allen played at Texas A&M. Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Okay. Yeah, was in the old Southwestern Conference.
Dan
the Wrecking Crew.
So what they have? Two A&M coaches.
Yeah.
In the league. Dennis Allen at A&M, then Dan Campbell. How about that?
Okay. All right. A&M representatives.
Yes, nobody from Texas. Nobody from Texas.
Don't do that to Chill, man. Oh. And Chill is on one. Did you see him on the sideline at the Michigan game?
He was on the sideline?
He was on the sideline, bro.
First off, free ticket.
Off the top.
Free ticket.
Off the top.
Then he talked about yesterday on the media match. Then got blessed with a sideline pass. And he just didn't have a sideline. He had a sideline pass that allowed him to be on the sideline the entire game.
Oh, so he can go up, and it wasn't like he's restricted. He can go anywhere. Oh, he got the juice, man.
Those kinds of passes are fun. Yeah. Okay, I've one of those at TCU, man. You just walk around, just go wherever you want to. You know, over there on the Colorado sideline, hanging out for a little bit. And walked over to TCU. I mean, you just walk all over the stadium.
Can't hide money, boy.
But you gonna hear some things on them sidelines, boy.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, man, it was fun. You just kind of just chilling, just bouncing around, doing that thing. Somebody asked me, "You gonna go to TCU game this weekend?" I was like, "Yeah. If I go, I'll go." Yeah, you gonna sit with me? No. Why? Sit up high in the stands for who? For what?
Lays in the nosebleed.
Right. Let me help you out. I mean, it'd be two places. One, in the press box. Eating, or in that little founders area, eating, or I'm going to be down on the field.
Newy know where to be.
I'm not sitting up in those stands.
No.
Give your ticket to somebody else. Like, no, I don't need your ticket. I'm good.
Give it to Noah Brown.
That's the worst guy, man. You can't even. He's just trying to be friendly. Man, come to the game with me. What? You want to sit down? Who does that?
They already knew that anyway. That's the thing. You already know how. I've already told you how I go.
Brother,
that man is bougie.
I already told you how I go.
Get your hands off.
That's that guy.
What are you talking about? Get your hands off of me.
Go ahead, Newy, man.
I'll wave up yet, man.
Newy. He get you one of these.
Nah, don't do that, Newy. Don't be like that, man. Folks sometimes just, trying to do some commoner stuff.
Heck, man.
Come sit down, man.
You know there's nothing like being on those. I know you broadcast a lot of games.
Yes, sir.
But being on that side to see how fast and see the hits, man. It's
something different.
It's a lot of fun, man. That's the thing I hate what the NFL has done to us. We used to be able to be on the sidelines the entire game. I was on the sideline against Washington for Hek'ma's final game when LeVar Arrington hit him.
Okay.
I was right over on the sidelines, and you saw him
that was
way down.
Lick.
It was a lick. When I saw it, I was like, he out.
Yeah.
Over with.
No, it was like
he done.
Barry, it was one of those times I tell people to see a man, and you know how big LeVar Arrington,
huge Pittsburgh representative,
that big, running that fast, and pow.
That's the old AstroTurf too, right? Like
Yes,
the old
was.
concrete.
Old
you
Texas
get
Stadium,
that,
man.
it's over with.
Mm-hmm.
But then you see, then you realize when you meet Troy Aikman how big Troy Aikman
Troy is big.
Okay.
I was surprised with
Big
that.
old dude.
I was surprised.
Thank you. This is a chiseled guy.
Yeah.
So for Arrington, who was even bigger and more chiseled, it was just like, oh.
That was a hell of a collision.
To watch professional football and college to an extent, but to watch it at that level on the field, to see the hits and to be up close in professional boxing.
Yeah,
Bro,
that's different. It's different.
It moves a lot faster than you see it on TV, and I think the people these are split seconds that these guys are dealing with. Yeah,
it doesn't do it justice. It just doesn't. It's like going to a NASCAR race or an IndyCar race. You have to be there to see the speed. Oh wow!
You know who shocked me? It was first time playing against Adrian Peterson back when he was with Minnesota. When you talk about that dude used to go through the hole 100 miles an hour, and if you didn't guess right, you either getting ran over or you getting shook out your shoes. Like just watching him, because my rookie year, I got to play a little bit here and there on special teams, but just watching him go through that line and just explode and just go through people, it was like, man, he wasn't, born. He was created. He was like chisel. I was like, man, what is this? Yeah. It was definitely a welcome to the NFL moment when I had to go against that dude.
No, his speed, just the way that guy was built was completely different. I can only imagine. And then on top of that, Adrian Peterson, 6'3"?
Yeah, he taller than what you think.
Yeah, he's 6'7". He's a bigger guy than you expect in the way that he runs. Also, I mean, you go back to a guy like Adrian Peterson, to Eric Dickerson, and guys that came from that era. But I mean, I'm sure, like you've talk about Ricky Williams.
And that was at the end of his career. Man.
That was an old Ricky.
Hit me with the 1-2 step.
What?
I said, I'm cut.
I mean, and these are players that obviously, you see these guys on TV, you see them win Heismans, but then when you see them in actual action, like guys like Reggie Bush, being them field level and seeing a Reggie Bush, like that's different quickness. That guy's like they said, not born, he was created.
He was created, man.
You're right, because when you just see it, like, he's different. I remember the first time I saw Peter Warrick in Los Angeles, like, he's different. It was like, I mean, and he didn't have the kind of career it was having to go to the Bengals. He didn't have the kind of career you thought, But when you saw him on the field, he was different. And then I saw Walter Jones.
Offensive lineman, Walter Jones.
Offensive Florida State, like a black stormtrooper in pads. It was like, oh, good luck. Done. Nope, you go here. Just directed people. No, not today. I mean,
and a black stormtrooper.
You're not getting to the Death Star. I mean, you just saw. I saw. It was at Florida. It was a Florida State team. They ended up winning the national championship, but it was Peter Warwick. It was Walter. You just like, okay, they're different. And now that was one of those days where it was a ton of dudes who got drafted. Okay, bunch of dudes who got drafted. Winky ended up winning a Heisman Trophy. Chris Claiborne was a linebacker for USC. When Buckets were up, Brian Kelly ended up winning a championship with Tampa. That was so a lot of dudes out there. But you was like, yeah, those two, yeah. They're different. And, of course, Walter Jones ended up going to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. But just what you said, you see a guy that age, he's not like us. I mean, he's like, at all. Like, nah, he different. And when you see special guys like that, that's the cool part of the job. And that's why I do love being on the field, because when you see it like that, everybody's good. Mm-hmm. And when you see somebody who's like, nah, that's different.
Like, I got to line up against Randy my rookie year, and I was like, first of all, we had this dumb package where, let's put the young safety at corner so he can get a jam on this guy. Man, this dude came trotting out to my side. I'm like, bro, what? My knees shaking.
No, they were shaking BC. Not like, BC for Pittsburgh. Not you, dog.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm looking up. I thought, I was right there with Randy. Man, this dude towering over me. He looking at me. He point. I forget who the quarterback. It might have been Christian Ponder or something.
No, he ain't pointed you, dog.
I'm sitting there. I felt extremely disrespected.
So glad Twitter wasn't around.
Dog, I was over there shaking. I'm like, man.
I'm a rookie.
Barry.
Thank goodness it was a run play.
You know, it was like the dude. I'm a rookie. I'm out here all by myself. This package is foolish.
I was so mad. I had help over top.
I just peed down my leg.
This dude,
he
can't. You know how you get that trot?
I'm about to be on the videos. I'm about to get mossed.
They ain't get my dog.
Thank goodness it was a run. And he got off the line. I'm like, oh snap! And then he give you one of these. Something. I'm about to get burnt. But luckily he was just messing with me. He looked back like, nah. He just laughed. It was like, I ain't gonna do you like that, young pup.
Free bird.
No, he got off the line.
Free bird.
I'm like, oh no! He put that arm up. I'm like, oh no,
it's over.
No, it was a run play. He started laughing. It was like, you good, young pup. I was like, man, get me off of this field right now. No, get me out of here.
Thank God. Thank God.
Having a helmet.
He was like, yo, get me out.
Grab the back of your leg. My hand.
Unbelievable.
Hek'ma plan B for Jake Ferguson.
Man, right now is pray. Right? You know what? Hunter Lipke. We talked about him, and we talked about him. I'm talking about blocking, okay, as far as the blocking packages, but also Schoonmaker. We've been, he's a high draft pick and a guy that you've been waiting to see that production from, and you're trying to replace 102 catches last season. So look, I am personally happy that this man didn't sprain. Like, it's not an ACL, because when he went down,
I thought it was
I was like, that's the end.
You know how that looked like when that knee jam up. You're like, oh man.
I was preparing for the worst, man. But when he came back and said God is good, and you realize that it's just an MCL, even though that's not light work, he still has to come back and try and regain his strength in that leg and also his speed. But I think where you go here is you rely on Schoonmaker and also Stevenson. We've been waiting to see this guy, the tight end that everybody's been talking about. He just hadn't got his time yet.
Man, give me Span Forward. Give me Span Forward in there. I mean, like, what he was able to do blocking-wise, at least against the Browns, to me, it showed promise. Big dude, 6'7", 250 out there. He's not going to route nobody up. He might not be able to get you a catch or two, but he's going to make sure that line of scrimmage is where it needs to be at. So give me Span Forward in there, and then you're going to have to rely on the 3 wide receivers to be your passing targets.
All right. To be continued on the next episode of the Players Lounge. Hek'ma Harrison.
In the place to be.
Good chat.
Yes,
Barry
sir.
Church.
Yes,
Great
sir.
insights. Newy Scruggs. Players Lounge brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming. 5 days a week right here on DallasCowboys.com radio for the great producer, Chris Beam, Jazz, Josh. Everybody's a part of it. We'll talk to you next time on DallasCowboys.com radio.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!